Welcome back to Third Phase of Moon. Blake Cousins along with my brother Brant. It's the best of November 2024, the craziest UFOs of this month. Let me tell you, this month has been crazy with the phenomenon. We're going to show you over 50 new videos that have come in over the past 30 days. Buckle up, give us a big thumbs up. Good to be with you all. Captured by a beach cam, we see an object, a glowing object, come to a stationary pause and then just shoot up into the sky at an extraordinary rate of speed. Are we looking at something paranormal, the phenomenon, or something that is within the government's assets or a private corporation? What the heck are we looking at? Yeah, this is some pretty incredible footage. You can see it, like you just said, Blake, just zoom up into the sky at extraordinary rates of speed, and just the way it stops on a dime, that's incredible. If anybody was inside there, they'd be crushed, and even possibly the vehicle itself. Is there some sort of like meta propulsion behind this that's making this thing move so fast? Look at the trail that it leaves. In my opinion, this is 100% legitimate footage. That's right, Brent, and we're looking at this, and USO comes to mind. Is this some kind of object that is hiding within this massive body of water, the ocean, and it is making its appearance, and it's being captured on this beach cam. These beach cams run 24/7, and it's a good place every once in a while to pick up good UFO evidence, and we're looking at it and we don't have any explanation to what it is. Obviously, the way it comes and stops right there, it's just incredible. It's deceleration and then acceleration. It's just amazing stuff that we're looking at here. Yeah, is this some sort of supercavitation technology that's controlling this? Because like I said, the craft itself could fall apart on this immense stop and then just shoot up in the sky like that. It would have been cool to see it dive down into the water too, as well, to prove that this is an actual USO. But again, we're looking at something incredible. This is a phenomenon right here. That's right, Brett. That's what we want to show to the world, and that's what Third Phase of Moon's all about. Now, more videos just in, and guys, we want to get your opinions in this live premiere. Leave the comments, hit that thumbs up. You know what to do. Now, let's roll it. There we go. A street cam now captures basically the same phenomenon. A stationary orb of light all of a sudden just kicks on the power of unknown origin to accelerate this craft at extraordinary rates of speed. And we're getting a good close-up look at this, leaving a trail in its wake, and it just kind of dissipates as it shoots across the city line. In my opinion, this thing is rocking at least, I don't know, 200 to 300 miles an hour in just a split second. This is faster than any other aircraft that I'm aware of that could do this in any kind of commercial military asset that we know of on our planet Earth. So we're looking at something, again, that can't be explained here. Or some sort of private corporation and their technology that they're withholding, and we're seeing it kind of produced in the public. If they're testing it over the public, then they're trying not to hide anymore. That's what they might be trying to do, is exercise their rights to put out their equipment, their new technology, and maybe have little soft disclosure. I'm looking at this, and definitely it reminds me of the last previous UFO video we just saw. I'm looking at this. There's some aspects right when this object comes into, here it is, it's coming in, and then right when you see it bank to the right, the camera seems to move at the same time, kind of maybe a drone shot is what I'm thinking. Is this some sort of parallaxing going on, creating an illusion of this craft moving? You know, it's hard to tell. I'm pretty sure that maybe there's some kind of tracking mechanism on the camera, or the enhancement is actually panning right so we can see this object traverse across the skies. But again, it does do this pan to track this object. It kind of reminds me of the Galileo project, what they're working on with their sensors to track motion objects in the sky and track it and see what's underneath the hood, basically. And right now we can't explain what's underneath the hood here. The propulsion behind it is the unknown. It's interesting. Like you say, it just kind of does this slight wobble and then boom, takes off right there. Incredible stuff. Now, more videos into Third Phase of Moon. Hit that thumbs up. Let's roll the next one. right now. Now, this one is wild. We're looking at a flying saucer with these lights just rotating around the hull of the craft, and something's up there. It's not any. I don't think this is a helicopter with rotor blades with its lights lit up on the end of the rotor blades. I'm not seeing any FAA lights or anti-collision lights either. This is a disc-shaped object, in my opinion, here.
Yeah, definitely. This one's wild. I like this. This guy, he's doing the UFO intercept on the highway. He's filming it at the same time. And what a great shot, because we're getting a really close-up, detailed image of this unidentified flying object. And it is. That's exactly what it is. We don't know what it is. And we're seeing something traversing at quite a amount of speeds, moving as this person is filming it. It's basically flanking them. This is incredible stuff.
Yeah, I like this. The high speed, it's like an action movie, basically, but real life. And this person is driving on the freeway and notices something strange in the sky. So, boom, start to film and ask questions later. And be safe when you do this, too. It could be a little exhilarating when you're looking at this and driving at the same time. So, just keep that in mind if you come across this while driving. But we urge you, just film and then upload that video. But we're looking at something again. I'm trying to make out to see if this is a solid object. I'm guessing that it's probably about 20 to maybe 30 feet in diameter. Again, no lights that indicate that it is anything required by the FAA to have any kind of anti-collision lights. And you could almost see the dark shadow, the hull of the craft, the entire craft resembling to me a solid object. And again, these swirling lights around it, I'm not exactly sure what that is.
Yeah, is this some sort of new prototype drone that's being flown? I haven't seen it. This is something new. We've been following ufology for almost 15 years now, and this is a unique one, something entirely different from any of our archives. That's what I like about this. And that's why we're here at Third Phase of Moon, showing you the newest stuff that we all need to see. This is great.
Yeah, as we're rolling the next video, it's just going to be up in just a moment. Again, no deception, 100% legitimate. It's not AI or CGI. This is actually up there, captured within the optics of the camera itself. So amazing stuff. Okay, we got the next one. Let's roll that. All right, it's coming out of China, this video. And again, for some reason, it seems that China, when it comes to like these weird looking UFOs that you don't see anywhere else, it just seems that they pop up in China. But it's hard to make out exactly the perspective of this object in the sky. And we're trying to translate whatever the lady was saying as she's filming this. But I'm making out some kind of large craft here. And it's like this cylindrical object, but just kind of shortened up. You see these ridges on it as the lights kind of gleam across. I'm not sure if this is refraction of light or is this actually coming from the craft itself. Look at that. It's very strange. And then right at the top, you see these orbs kind of separating from this object as well. And apparently there was something that was going on in China, that there was this huge craft that was spotted, like the size of a building. So are we looking at a building-sized UFO right now?
Yeah, this is pretty cool. Curious, because again, we don't see everything. We're seeing a close-up. I believe this is legitimate footage. There's no AI or CGI. We don't put that shit up. We're looking at something that's definitely suspended up there. But I do wish this woman that filmed it would show it a little bit longer. Where did it go? That's a big question. And if she pulled the camera back where we could see it, kind of a vantage point of the surrounding area, would have been really good itself. I do think she's in a car, because I think I see a window wiper going across the windshield, which is interesting. And maybe she just has this one opportunity to film this. And the best part, she does get a close up. So we're seeing a lot of detail here. It almost looks like a rectangle, almost boxy. You can see the ridges and has these kind of patterns of light that seem to communicate with each other. They seem like it's smart. Is this something otherworldly, or is this something, again, more private technology? Is this what we're looking at? Something made by man, reverse engineering alien tech. That's what it looks like to me. This is amazing. It's something, again, like China. Blake just mentioned that we're seeing these unidentified flying objects over that region that really you don't see around the planet. And this is, again, more stuff right here at Third Phase Moon to share to our audience, the best UFOs on the planet.
Yeah, I'm wondering if China is going to beat us to disclosure. Apparently, they've got some news, and they're threatening that they're going to bring undisputed evidence that we're not alone, and we'll see about that. I'm not holding my breath, but I got a feeling maybe there is some kind of race to disclosure. The countdown is on, but I think Third Phase Moon is going to bring the disclosure before anybody. The evidence that comes in from the public is just incredible, reaching 1 billion people on YouTube via our channel over the years. The world knows that if there's something that's out there, submit it to us, and it's incredible. We're looking at something that, again, we can't explain what happened, but the rumors are that there was a building-sized UFO in China that has been recently seen. And is that what we're looking at? Again, these orbs of light that will just kind of stream off the top there. It's very curious to me of what exactly that is, and I'm not exactly sure. Alien is alien. It's like that's kind of the definition. It's the unknown. So could it be some unknown alien technology that we're looking at, or like Brent said, private corporation, reverse engineered? All I know is that there's private corporations that cannot be subpoenaed, and it's not within the government's hands. It's in private citizens' hands, in private corporations that hold the cards here. Kind of maybe like a rogue corporation, a rogue project. It's hard to tell, but again, more videos coming in. USOs. This was captured off the coast of Mexico, and from the eyewitnesses, we hear that they're basically kind of stunned. They notice something traversing underneath the ocean surface, and then it comes to a stop, and then they proceed to start filming. And look at this. The light kind of goes out. Who knows? Is it a scuba diver underneath the water looking for lobster? I'm not sure here.
Yeah, that's a big question. We got two sources of video. Like you said, like this one's in Mexico from a boat liner, a fishing liner, and this one is captured actually in Spain. So two separate events, and it's the same phenomenon.
Let's get to the next video right now.
Grave esto ayer lunes en mi rancho en Palmdale, California. Se desintegró en un abrir y cerrar de ojos, como si pasara por un portal dimensional. No hacía ruido y se sentía una vibración en todo el cuerpo.
All right, we're going to get some really close-up looks at whatever this metallic, I don't know, tic-tac. It just is incredible. The way, look at this, it's traversing up through the sky at a pretty moderate rate of speed, but again, no indication of any kind of propulsion that means anything that's commercial. We're looking at something that's very, very unusual.
Yeah, this shit's weird, Blake. We're looking at it, and you could see it just go across the plane over there from left to right at a low altitude. I thought maybe could this be some sort of maybe banner, advertising banner, but I'm throwing that out because we don't see any plane and we don't see any cable dragging this thing. This thing is on its own, and it's square. It looks metallic. This is a unique UFO that should be thrown at Congress, thrown at everybody, because this thing, again, has no means of propulsion, and it just seems to be stationary as it just flies over the ground over there.
Yeah, I'm looking at this, and I'm trying to estimate the size of this craft. And indeed, we're looking at something authentic. It's not CGI or AI. I know people like to claim that shit all the time, but we're looking at stuff at Third Phase Moon where if we see any of that, we're going to call it out. What we're looking at right now is legitimate footage, and the question is What is it? And we're seeing the house in the background. I don't know. This looks to be almost bigger than maybe 2 SUVs.
Yeah, almost the size of a bus, that's for sure. Again, this guy got a really good shot. It's crystal clear. I wish he could have followed it and have seen what happened to this craft after it left the area, or maybe it even landed. Who the hell knows? But again, looking at this thing, it's fascinating because we can't explain what it is. Now, again, big UFOs at third phase of moon. We're just getting started. So everybody press that thumbs up. We got the next video. Roll it.
Bueno, como a las 5 yo despacho a los maestros que trabajan en la casa y fue como súper raro porque nadie lo vio y los maestros tienen que haber ido por ahí cerca. Y lo otro, que esa cosa cambió de forma, pero muchas veces delante mío, porque la foto que yo te mandé es parte del video que le tomé. El video está súper nítido. En el video también se ve que esta cosa cambia de forma y al final, en el último segundo del video, se ve también que esa cosa parece que se transforma en árbol, no sé, pero es una cuestión rara. Pero sí, eso cambió, no sé por qué se va a parar en mi oficina y ya lo he visto 2 veces. La segunda vez fue hace poco.
Wow, amazing capture. The woman is actually able to capture something on her cell phone cam, and we're looking at it, and it almost seems like it's on fire. And this girl narrates the whole thing. We're going to get some translation, and it's going to come in the comments later as we share this live premiere, so look for that. But what we're looking at, in my opinion, what this woman captured and her demeanor proves once again that the phenomenon's real, and we're not looking at any trickery here. This is legitimate footage coming out of Chile. And Brent, is this some, I don't know, do you see it? It looks like it's on fire, like it might be crashing.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe it's some sort of hot air balloon that's catching fire and falling to the ground. Who knows? But when we get this close up, like you said, Blake, we see it. It has this wisp of black smoke coming from the top as it descends over the rooftop some distance away. This thing's huge because you can see the proximity from the camera and this object in the sky, representing that this again is pretty far away. I'm estimating again the size of maybe a half a school bus. It's huge. Then we get this close up, and this is something that's unidentified. We just don't know what it is. Here we go. Let's slow it down. Bam! That's so good. We get it. We see it. Here it comes again. Let's just keep looking at this thing. What's everybody in the chat room? We're so excited to be here at Third Phase Moon and having this YouTube channel and all our fans joining us. Casper Site gave us a big shout out last night, and appreciate any Casper Site fans in the house tonight. You guys rock.
That's right. Casper's doing good work over there, and it's interesting. The whole community, the UFO community, is coming together, and maybe disclosure is right around the corner here. But again, we're looking at something, in my opinion, Brent, I'm going to have to disagree with you just a bit, that again, this thing is off at a distance. So I'm saying this thing's at least maybe 2 school buses long here. It's so massive. And then once again, the conventions of any kind of means of propulsion aren't being indicated here. If this was a hot air balloon, I'm sure we'd hear some kind of disaster in Chile over the past few days if anything was going down, and we're not getting any indications of that within the past few days. So if there is, please do some research. We did, and we didn't find it. This almost reminds me of like an Elon Musk rocket, but I don't see the propulsion. It just reminds me of how he captured it with the chopsticks, and this thing's coming down for a landing, and maybe a little residual burn from it. Again, just very unconventional, weird, broad daylight sighting that we wanted to share to the world right here at Third Phase of Moon. Now, like I said, we've got a lot of UFO videos. What a day. So let's roll the next one right now. All right. At first glance, Brent shared this video with me moments ago, and I'm like, well, what are we looking at? A rocket launch? And then Brent says no, because possibly it's just weird because you usually see the smoke trail from the launch pad as it traverses into space. We're looking at this thing kind of come out way up in the sky, like out of nowhere. So it would be like a rocket launch at maybe about 15,000 feet in midair is what we're looking at. But that doesn't make any sense to me.
Or maybe it's a lot closer to the camera too at the same time. I'm kind of looking at the parallax as this thing's kind of moving. Let's take a glimpse here, right about as it passes, I think in front of a windmill, and it's going to come up. It kind of, is it in front of it or is it behind it? Let's take a close look. It looks like it's in front of it. So I believe this thing's much closer to us. But again, we're looking at something very odd because it looks basically like a string of a thread or yarn just flying up in the sky, kind of just holding itself too. It looks almost biological.
Yeah, a good eye there, Brent. And I'm sure we're going to do some analysis on this video to get a closer look, because when we're looking, I could see that it still keeps extending to the further right there. Like it's still, whatever it is dropping this kind of string. And then it did seem to pass in front of the windmill blade. So again, that's very strange. Maybe it's kind of like a plasmic thing, and maybe it's only about 30 to maybe 50 or 60 feet long. Brent, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree. Again, this thing maybe it just caught some breeze and it lifted up in the air, and we're looking at something very odd. And hey, if you see something like this, film it and just film it till the end, because if I saw this, I would definitely do that, because this thing's weird. It's just strange. It's elongated, and I'm like, you're right, Blake. I think it's about 50, 60 feet in length, and you can see it because the vantage point of when he pulls back and the cameraman and the vantage point, it kind of adds up that this thing's some far distance away.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm sure people are going to say rocket launch for sure, and I think we just debunked that. So it's just a strange, I don't know, string of yarn just floating there. It just doesn't make sense. It's just something very unknown, biological in nature, some kind of plasmic, organic ectoplasm. I don't know. It's just weird stuff. I love this field. It makes us so excited to keep sharing these UFO videos, and we've got one coming in to the feed in just a few moments, but we want to get your comments right now in this live premiere. It really helps a lot, the algorithm, and YouTube has been recognizing our daily uploads. We haven't stopped for about, 3 weeks now, so we're not going anywhere. Let's roll the next one. It's back. The acorn-shaped UFO. Again, broad daylight, no trickery. It's captured within the optics of the camera itself. That's what we're looking for, genuine footage. And we're looking at something that, again, she's kind of by herself in the park, kind of wondering what the heck is next to her, and she films this. It'd be kind of creeping me out. But again, this is no blimp or any kind of hot air balloon. I don't see no gondola or means of propulsion, and this thing's up there, and it's quite large.
Yeah, Blake, I just got to say, in my opinion, I think this is AI, not people. We see it always in the comments. People say, oh, UFOs, the phenomenon is destroyed because of AI technology. I just say, hey, when you see something that looks too good to be true, and it's obviously created by AI generation, you could call it out 99% of the time. So what we're always sharing at Third Phase is legitimate footage, and this girl captured some amazing footage of the phenomenal acorn UFO. It's just up there. This thing's massive, and it's just staying there steady in the sky. You don't see no gondola, so this proves that this is unmanned as far as somebody controlling it with some sort of heat. This thing's on its own control.
Yeah, and what's crazy is these sightings of the acorn-shaped UFO in this region, it's just almost like on a daily basis. It's continuous. And no culprit has come forward saying, hey, look, I've built the acorn UFO. And hey, look at what I've done. And if so, they'd have to have hundreds of these things around this region because they're just happening in too many places at the same time. So we're looking at something, again, that it's just very strange, and that's what we're looking for, strangeness. We're looking at something about 20,000 feet in the sky. You hear the pilot or the passenger, the co-pilot, yell out, mira, 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 mira. Look, look, look. We're looking at something that can't be explained. Is this a UAP, UFO?
Yeah, Blake, these are the aerial phenomenon we're looking for because this, again, is new footage that just dropped within hours. We're sharing it right now, right here at Third Phase, and you see this plane flanking it, and it's moving from left to right. It's not oscillating. It's just kind of moving on its own control. That's the best part. It just reminds me of what's been happening over the past years of we're seeing these spherical metallic balls just floating in the sky over war zones, surveillance areas, military bases. This looks exactly like the same thing that's being described everywhere. This is really good footage.
You know, the broad daylight, again, no trickery. This is authentic footage, but I'm just wondering if this object is stationary in the sky and we're getting some kind of parallax as the airplane flies by. But it could be moving in a direction, like you say, Brent. Whatever it is, it seems very solid, and whether it's flying or not, it's not undulating. That's what I'm trying to say. It's just hanging there. And if it's moving like that and it's not undulating, we're looking at something with no means of propulsion. Now, more videos just into Third Phase Moon. Watch this.
¡Qué fuerte mi corazón! ¡Mamá, míralo! ¡Es un ovni! ¡Mamá, míralo! ¡Es un ovni! ¡Sí es! La montaña... No, no se quedaría así. ¡Ándalo! ¡Vengan! ¿Cómo dices? ¡El latir de tu corazón! ¡De tu corazón! ¡De tu corazón! ¡Me estoy grabando! ¡Sí! ¡Es una nave! No, es una nave completa. Sí, son 4 y se están iluminando más.
All right. Wow. You know, a lot of ladies there, and they're screaming their heads off, looking at something that they can't explain during a lightning storm. And they're saying, Onvi, like there's a massive UFO out there. They call their friends, and they start to call their friends. And next thing you know, you have a lot of eyewitnesses seeing the phenomenon. And right now, we can't really explain what we're looking at, except that it looks to be some kind of large craft in the sky. And I'm pretty sure these people are aware of their surroundings, and they don't see this every day, no doubt about it.
Yeah, this is some pretty killer footage. I like that we're seeing the phenomenon during a lightning storm. The event kind of, is it connected? People may say that. Again, we're looking at something off in the distance. You can almost see some lights even popping to the left of this large craft, if that's what it is. Could these be flares or some sort of military drop? These things seem to me that they're just staying in one position. They're not moving anywhere. Again, this is really good footage. There, you're seeing pops to the top left. Very interesting.
You know, it's actually, when we've had our UFO encounters around friends, it does seem like a fiesta, a party. Everybody's just so excited about what they're witnessing, and you can't blame them. It's crazy what we're looking at, and it's definitely unexplained. Now, let's bring up the next video. Take a look at this. It's quick. Right, we're going to be repeating this video and replay the audio, but you're looking at this and you said, Blake, take a look. What are we looking at here?
Well, definitely somebody shooting from the ground straight up. It's night. You can see the stars passing by as this craft just kind of accelerates through the clouds. It's illuminating the whole entire sky. This is really good. Could it be maybe just a rocket launch? But when you see it right in the beginning of the clip, you see, in my opinion, there, did he see it? It seems like this craft is almost flipping around. It's like rotating as it's moving towards the stratosphere.
Yeah, and no sound whatsoever. So whatever we're looking at mystified these people. And again, this tumbling attribute that you bring up, it's interesting. Guys, what do you see in the video? We want to hear your comments in this live premiere. Now, give us a big thumbs up. Let's go to the next video. All right, this is coming in from TikTok, and we're watching this video closely. Is this some kind of celestial event, a rocket ship crashing, some satellite burning up, or are we looking at something that could be a UFO crash right now, or it seems to be some kind of crash?
Yeah, this is the phenomenon. We're looking at it right now. Or could it be man-made with some sort of new light display that they could project into the sky? Maybe possible HARP or Project Bluebeam is in action, but we're looking at something very curious. Here's a good close-up as it goes behind the building there, and then it reveals itself. This is 100% legitimate footage. I like the way it's just rotating. You see it kind of plasmic discharge coming off as it kind of goes into this neat rotation.
Yeah, I'm looking at this. I'm not seeing any craft, so I'm going to have to rule out UFO crash. We're looking at some kind of, like you say, Brent, plasmic event, and it seems that it has this, twirling vortices that's happening, but it goes up, not down. So it's just very bizarre what we're looking at. No doubt if I was driving down the freeway and I noticed this, I'd pull out my camera. So again, very bizarre. It almost reminds me of the Aurora Borealis, but it's nothing like that. Again, just very strange.
Yeah, it has this kind of gossamer look to it. It's translucent. You can see through it. And it has this really neat, bright display. The purple hues really has the attributes to this is very unique. That's what I like about this, and that's why we're sharing it. Have you seen anything like this? Hey, if you have, send it right here at Third Phase, because we want to share this. If you know what it is, leave it in the comments. That's what it's all about. We want your opinions. Nobody's perfect in this field. We're just throwing it up there and we're speculating on what we're looking at, and this is something that I would like to share.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Now let's roll the next video. Coming in. A quick glimpse in time. This man manages to capture what people might speculate is the TR-3B, and it's stealth. This craft is definitely stealth, and we're looking at a vector-shaped craft moving pretty quickly. And as I get a close-up look on it, I do put a little brightness contrast in there. You see it. It's faint, but again, these things sometimes don't want to be seen. They're stealth for a reason.
Yeah, it looks exactly like the TR-3B. As it moves, this man just had a moment of time. You could hear it. It caught his interest. He's like, huh? And then it goes behind the trees, and you see it in its true display. Could it maybe just be a flock of birds? That's what people might say, and that's okay. But I'm looking at this thing. The triangular shape seems really sharp and rigid. You could almost see edges on this thing.
That's right, Brent. And we believe the TR-3B is reversed engineered from something unknown, and maybe not of this earth, or maybe not of this solar system beyond. So what we're looking at is definitely something, in my opinion, it's ours, but it's like this super high-tech technology that is being suppressed from us. That's why we're heading out to DC tomorrow for the 13th November hearings. Now, more videos.
Levitating and no strings or anything on it. You can clearly see that. a ranch house here. If it was on a tree, it'd be kind of swinging a little bit.
Well, that's why I thought it was on the tree, and no, it's just...
This power wire is way over there.
It's been there for 2 weeks.
Wait.
No one can figure out what the hell it is.
Are you serious? It's been there for 2 weeks?
That's what Jeannie said, yeah.
And it's just sitting there. Are you serious?
He wants to part. He needs to part.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
She says, no one knows what this is. It's been there for 2 weeks.
Smoke.
So weird. Oh,
So we got a Bud Light can that's been here for 2 weeks, floating in the air about 20 feet above the ground, by itself, just staying there, and nobody knows why. There's the moon back there. Can't see any wires, nothing. I'm gonna come back tomorrow and see if it's still here. This is beyond.
Hit that thumbs up button if you're joining us right now. Now, let's get to this. The Redlands incident is incredible indeed. Something stationary. You heard it on the ground. These people have been saying that this thing has been hovering over their neighborhood for over 2 weeks. What the heck is going on above their skies? Drones don't stick around for 2 weeks, much less just a few hours, and this thing has been spotted by multiple eyewitnesses, and the thing does seem very stationary and metallic. I got Brent with me. I want to get his opinion quickly. We got so many UFO videos. Brent.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of that West Covina incident. Could this be an advertisement balloon? You know, I don't think so. The people say there's no tether, so what could it be? I'm leaning towards a drone, Blake.
It could be a drone, but this has to be some kind of new technology if it's stationary this long for 2 weeks. No doubt about it. Now, the next video right now.
Y de allá es de donde estaban saliendo los de anoche. Pues no se ve nada en el cielo. Aquí sí se está viendo bien, güey. Ya está el sol que van a salir. Oh shit, esto está loquísimo. Un globo no puede ser, es un globo. No hay luces ni nada, está muy bueno.
All right, coming out of Colombia, we're looking at what people might say is a jagged flying disc up in the sky. Some people might even call it scary. But whatever we're looking at, it's authentic, it's up in the sky, and we have no idea what the heck it is. And that's why we're here, sharing you the phenomenon. And we're going to get some close-up looks at whatever this craft is. And in my opinion, I see no means of propulsion here. And it seemingly defying the laws of physics. We're getting an extreme close-up right now. Quite incredible. Brent, what's your thoughts here?
Yeah, this is some pretty badass footage. I like it. He's getting a good grasp of what he's seeing up in the sky. We see this, like you say, Blake, this jagged edge flying saucer with this kind of conical cone-shaped point right at the bottom of this craft. This thing looks metallic. That's what I like about it. And it seems to be flying on its own accord, no means of propulsion. It just seems to glide on its own accord. It's like it has intelligence. That's what I like about this.
You know, when I'm looking at this closer as well, this thing isn't undulating one single bit. It's just on its straight axis. And once again, this close-up reveals no means of propulsion. It almost looks like it's copper underneath. Maybe some sort of electricity device. I'm not saying I know what I'm talking about. I'm just speculating like everybody else. And what we're looking at is incredible. And you can hear in the man's voice who captured this, he was in kind of a euphoric mode, almost in a state of awe, and I don't blame him. It's quite interesting when you see something like this. Now, more UFO videos just into third phase. Right, let's get a little closer look. Obviously, coming to mind is the jetpack man, a humanoid. And we've heard of the jellyfish as well, making rounds across our planet. The phenomenon keeps coming up in these videos.
Yeah, this one's pretty bizarre. Look at it. Just move along over the mountainside, the snowy mountains. I believe this is taking place in Colorado. And we're looking at something maybe about 150 feet above the ground, just moving slightly from left to right as this thing just moves seemingly by itself. It almost looks like a witch. People say the humanoid, there's all these kind of new things coming out, the new technology that has these attributes that are totally bizarre.
Yeah, you might notice Brent's kind of losing his voice. We've been on the road traveling about 1,400 miles. You may have seen our coverage in Washington, D.C. Right now, we're in St. Louis. We took the whole road trip all the way up, asking people across the country about what they thought of the UFO hearings and what they think about UFOs in general. We're going to be coming out with that documentary here real soon, but right now we're looking at something that once again is not undulating. It's moving pretty much horizontal. And I think it was actually Alaska that this was captured in. But as we're looking at this a little closer, again, do you see it wavering like if it were a regular balloon? I don't. And that's why we're sharing this. Obviously, we're not sharing you things that we think's mundane. We're sharing you things that we think that's extraordinary. So again, leave your comments in this live premiere. We appreciate all the comments. Now, I know we have more videos just into Third Phase of Moon, but I want to see those comments come in. Come on, you guys can do it. Now, let's roll. Hit that thumbs up. Let's see the next video coming in. Right, we're looking at this once again, getting some stills, about 30,000 feet, approximately. We're looking at what looks to be a metallic cube-shaped UFO. And this is really close to this commercial airliner captured by a passenger. Brent, your thoughts here?
Yeah, I'm leaning more towards like maybe 15 to 10,000 feet up. Yeah, we're looking at this thing just zip across the sky close to this commercial airliner. Too close for comfort as far as I'm concerned. If I'm seeing this and recording this, I'm wondering, are there other objects in the sky that are even going to get closer or maybe even impact? You just never know. But these are the kind of sightings that we've been seeing over the military war zones, these spherical balls that look like they're made of metal. Here we're highlighting it right there. And this thing's actually more square-like, and that's the most interesting part. These are the square ones where you have the square within the cylindrical tube, but now we're just looking at the square flying craft here. Excuse my voice. Yeah, it's the cold air that's getting me. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, we're looking at this, and I do make it out to be like a metallic cube. And again, too close for comfort. And I'm sure this happens almost on a daily basis. Some people just aren't sharing it with their friends, or they have it on their cell phones, but they're not sharing it on social media. Please, guys, if you capture anything crazy like this, and always keep your eyes out when you're flying, because this happens quite often. But I'm liking this a lot because usually you see a sphere or some kind of, disc-shaped craft. We're looking at something that looks to be like a perfect metallic cube. Guys, I want to get your opinions as we're rolling this. And again, this thing is on a straight axis, not wavering, not going up or down, but straight up on a horizontal axis here. And maybe it could be just stationary and hovering in one spot, but with the parallax maybe possibly giving it movement. But again, pretty interesting, crazy UFOs, and we've got more coming in tonight. And let me tell you, we're happy to bring these UFO videos. We've been doing a lot of on-location shooting, but we know what you guys want. You guys want to see the phenomenon. So let's bring the next one up. And as we do that, I want to make sure that you don't forget to hit that thumbs up and leave some comments, guys. We're really asking you to do us a favor here so we can keep this YouTube channel strong. Now, let's get to the next one right now. All right, here we go again. The jetpack man or a humanoid. Biological in nature, possibly. Some people are actually coming to new thought process with regards to these things up in the sky, that they could be biological, the biologics. It was mentioned in the hearings. And we've been saying this for years. Maybe they're just listening to some Third Phase Moon episodes that we put out 10 years ago, or 8 years, or 5 years, because we've been talking about biological UFOs from the beginning of YouTube. So interesting stuff. Are we looking at life form here, Brent?
Well, what I like about it, it matches exactly what we saw just moments ago from Alaska. And this is almost the exact duplicate, basically a twin. And we're looking at the same thing, the same kind of pattern. It just kind of has its own means of motion and propulsion without it moving, wobbling. It remains static.
Yeah, and it's off at some distance, too. It's not massive, but I would say it's at least maybe 15 feet in length, maybe 20. But whatever it is, you can see some strange appendage on his shoulder coming up here. So, again, mechanics. Is this mechanical or is it biological? Is it unmanned or manned? These are big questions that we want to know. Now, here's another video coming in from another pilot seeing orbs. Watch. Whoa. Okay, we're looking at this pretty much in real time. This just came in. You see that? It just zipped underneath this small, I think, single-engine aircraft. And he's experiencing multiple orbs and debris. UFOs just zoom by him. Again, it's really, the video's low quality, but what we're seeing is high quality in data. We're looking at a massive amount of UFOs just surrounding this craft here.
Yeah, these things are getting a little too close for comfort. Like I said earlier, these things could just impact the craft, and this thing's going down. We don't know what these things are made of, and if it hits one of these wings or the propeller itself, it's an accident, and bam, there goes another one right above the pilot's vantage point. This is insane footage. Just how he captures it. It looked like at the first moment when he saw that first orb, he looks like he's trying to take a bank to see what just flew by us. And then as he's doing that, then we have this other orb, UFO, fly right over the pilot's aircraft.
We've got some late-breaking UFO news just in. Take a look.
That's what I said. Look, there's another one in the cloud. Go. I can't hear you. There is some fucking loads of them over there. Where?
That's very suspicious.
I'm freezing. Fucking alien. We come in peace. What the fuck? What was that? Oh my god. I just had that on camera. That was nuts, man, wasn't it?
All right, we just heard the man on the ground. You better send this to Third Phase of Moon. And absolutely, did you see that? At first, we thought this was some kind of just mundane white dot in the sky, but you could hear them say, look, there's multiple UFOs. And then all of a sudden, this happens right in front of their face. 3 lights seemingly comes out of this bright orb. What the heck are we looking at?
Yeah, once we got this close-up and the enhancements, it showcases these lights just kind of materializing right in front of the area.
I just had that on camera.
Here we go again. Let's play it as we see the dancing 3 orbs just kind of blink in and out of existence. This is really cool. We get a good close-up and we slow it down to get more enhancements. There they go. Is this some sort of static electricity or some sort of phenomenon?
You know, what we're looking at, it's hard to say exactly, but these things seem to appear and then just disappear right before their eyes. It's quite incredible as we add some brightness contrast. And then there it is, 1, 2, 3, blinking in and out. It's hard to say what's going on, but listen to their reaction once again.
What the fuck, Marcus? Oh my God. I just had that on camera.
Oh, right. They're excited, and we can tell, like, one of them saw it with their naked eye. The other person got it on their camera. So we're going to have to rule out any kind of lens flare or lens refraction of light here. We're looking at something that happened right before their eyes, and it was a moment in time. Quite incredible capture. Now, more UFOs just in. Take a look at this.
It is Friday, November the 15th. I don't know what the hell this is, but I'm getting it on video right now. That is the full moon. I'm gonna switch. There's the moon. There we go, right there. I'm walking to keep it in frame. It is moving to my right now. That car is passing me. This looks to have a triangular shape. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 lights that I can see. They're flashing on and off. It's moving very slowly. It's got to be huge. I am right now in front of the old Diamond Hill plywood plant in Darlington, South Carolina. It's November the 15th, 2024. I don't know how much space I have on this phone. I may run out. There's a plane passing in the foreground there to the left. But whatever this is definitely not a plane. They fanned out now. It looks less triangular. Maybe helicopters, I just don't know.
All right, what just happened in South Carolina earlier this month? We're looking at it right now. We're just obtaining this footage moments ago, so we wanted to share it with you. It appears to be what I make out 5 individual lights. He says it looks like a triangle. Maybe it's a craft. He says whatever it is, it's huge. And we see it a moment in time, like this commercial airliner passes right by it. And these things seem to be going in one direction, and then at one point is going in the direction it just came in from. So I'm not exactly sure. This is some pretty good stuff. Multiple sightings, and his mind is racing. He doesn't know what's going on here.
Yeah, I like this gentleman. He's getting the date, the time, and the location. Again, he's on it. He's reporting what he's seen. He doesn't know, but he's got the right mind to pull out his camera and film the phenomenon happening right in front of him. If this was indeed a connected craft, one large craft, this thing would be huge, maybe half the size of a football field or maybe even larger. But we're looking at something, a formation of lights just smoothly traversing the skies at a very slow rate, as he said too. This is bizarre footage. I like this because if I saw this, I would film it.
You know, while I'm looking at this, I count 4, but at some moments of time to the very right hand, or left hand, you see at times like a blink of light. So it indicates 5 at points, but right now we're counting 4. They seem to change kind of formation. So I don't think it's a solid craft. I believe that these are individual lights. Are they drones up in the sky? I don't know. I'm not hearing any indication of that. And the way they're blinking in and out, it's interesting to me. With the brightness contrast and what we're looking at, they're definitely 4 flying objects, unidentified, up in the sky. You see that little, there it is, the airplane coming into close proximity, or is that a helicopter? Nonetheless, the pilot of that craft, I'd love to hear if they saw this, and if anybody in South Carolina witnessed this, don't hesitate, put that video up to YouTube or contact us. Our email's in the description below. Now, more videos coming into Third Phase of Moon. Give us a big thumbs up and leave your comments right now on what you think these UFO videos are. It's important to us. So let's roll the next one right now. All right, if you were watching that on your iPhone, I'm sure it's a little bit tough to see, but we're adding some brightness contrast. I'm actually getting a close-up look of this orb performing incredible maneuvers in and out of the clouds. Quite incredible stuff. The performance of this craft, and I believe it is, something intelligent behind this, it's doing maneuvers that seemingly defy the laws of physics. I'm kind of impressed with what we're looking at here. Yeah, this one should be sent to Arrow, the Pentagon, the White House. I dig this footage because look at this technology, the propulsion as it just dives right into the clouds, makes a U-turn, a really fast one, and cranks it up as it moves from right to left, and it takes this bow right there, a dip, again, right into the clouds. What an incredible capture. This shows means of propulsion that we're not familiar with. Yeah, I'm looking at this. It's taking up some distance at an extraordinary rate of speed. This is beyond any kind of commercial drone that you could buy in any consumer market. If this is military grade or some kind of special access program with technology not given to the public, well, maybe these drones do exist. High propulsion, owned by maybe Lockheed Skunk Works, Raytheon. Maybe they're testing these things out there in plain sight, but we're looking at something that's unexplained to the public as we know it right now. So bona fide, genuine UFO, no CGI or AI going on in these videos. And if we see it, we're going to call it out. We're only wanting to share you the authentic videos captured by the people from around the world like you. So more videos just into Third Phase Moon. We're so excited that we could bring you these latest UFOs. We're excited just looking at them on a daily basis. So let's roll the next one right now. All right, we're going to get some close-ups. A typical cigar-shaped craft that we're looking at right now that seems to be traversing above the cloud layer. The video manages to get a close-up look of the object, but you really can't make out any detail because it's silhouetted, but we're not seeing any kind of wing or gondola underneath it. This is pretty incredible. Yeah, this is great footage. Again, just came in. We had to put this out as soon as we could. This guy's at 30,000 feet capturing the phenomenon. Let's get a close-up of this apparent cigar-shaped like UFO just hovering in the sky. And this is a good close-up. We're seeing it as it drifts by the cloud layer right there. Some people might say this could be maybe a commercial oil tanker off in the distance on the sea floor. That's a possibility. You know, when I'm looking at it, if this is on the sea surface, the ocean surface, I'm not seeing any kind of wake in its leaving behind whatever, if this is some kind of boat or oil tanker. And if it were an oil tanker, usually you can make out some kind of definition on it. And we're looking at this. It just looks like this dark cigar craft, like we've heard over a century. These things have been spotted by thousands of people, and they say it's a cigar-shaped craft. We're looking at it, and no indications of this being on the ocean surface. I'm looking at this, and I believe that it's up in the sky. And whatever it is, it's, in my opinion, bigger than a commercial airliner too. This is off at a distance. I'd say at least a quarter mile, maybe a half mile. So this thing is the size of 3 football field stadiums. It's huge.
Yeah, it's massive. You could see it. It's like as big as a football stadium. This thing's massive, and it's black. This just dark mass. It's almost square, and there's no definition of any kind of boat liner. This thing's just odd. And if it is flying in the sky, we're looking at something not of this world, and it's definitely not ours.
Yeah. Again, we want to get your opinions because it really matters. Your comments, your thumbs up. We're here in this live premiere, and we're seeing everybody joining us from around the world, and we love you all. So it's amazing that this community, it's been strong. We've been doing this for 15 years, and we've got more videos coming up. I just wanted to shout you guys out because you guys are the best third phasers out there, and we appreciate you so much. So that being said, guys, again, we're looking at something that's we're zooming up on it, so we're losing a little clarity, but you can see that this thing is traversing behind the clouds. And if you agree with me and Brent, whether it's a football stadium size or 3 football stadium size, it's hard to exactly say, but it is an incredible capture from 30,000 feet. What the heck? If you're out there up in the sky and you see something like this, don't hesitate. Pull your camera out immediately and share it on social media, and preferably share it with Third Phase of Moon. Now, more videos just in, so buckle up. Let's roll this one.
Was an incomplete environmental review prior to launching the plan.
Right there, live television, Fox 5, quick eye sent this to us. Said, did you see what just happened on live camera? Brent searched the archives to bring you the clearest footage he could find of this anomaly right there, New York City, of something that just traversed across this helicopter doing an aerial view of the city there.
Everyone else is so oblivious they don't even see it. Come on. Truman Show. That guy was looking, you see him? It was like something cut through it.
Wow, what the heck are we looking at? Is this some kind of rip in the sky? Captured in broad daylight, we're looking at this very closely, and what the man said who shot this is this the Truman Show? We're looking at something extraordinary right now. We've seen a lot of weather phenomenon right here at Third Phase Moon, but this one really caught our eye. And when I scrubbed through the footage and sped it up just a bit, you could really make out this rip, this tear in the sky, and it defies anything of logic right now. The weather phenomenon, it's real, and we're looking at it right now. Sped up. Look at this just traverse across the sky. This isn't any kind of contrail.
Yeah, Blake, this is pretty much some insane footage, to say the least. Is this some sort of tear in the fabric, space and time, or something, just a weather phenomenon? We're looking at something incredible, especially as we do that little fast forward to show that this thing wasn't just static. It's actually moving. Have you seen this kind of phenomenon? Because I haven't. This is just into third phase, breaking right now. What's your thoughts, everybody?
Yeah, we're doing this live premiere, and it's good to see everybody. Our last video went viral, and we appreciate the support. We're looking at something right now, broad daylight, that defies any kind of logic of thought. Look at the shadow that it's given across the clouds and it seems to be almost ripping through time and space, like you said, Brent. Now, more videos just in. Right, we're going to look at this a lot closer. I know we've seen this video in the past here at Third Phase, and it only lasted for a few moments. This one seems to be an extended version that we've just obtained that shows a little longer footage here. We're looking at, obviously, some people might claim the TR-3B, a triangular-shaped craft. We got the 3 illuminated lights on the corners of the triangle, and then within the center, this red orb. This is the infamous indication for a TR-3B. Brent, your thoughts here?
Yeah, actually, this is some of the clearest, because we've seen this, like you said earlier, throughout the years, but this is the longest clip and the most clearest definition that we're looking at right now. It's interesting. You see it rotate right at the end. I like that part. Could this... People might just say, is this something propped up, maybe on a fishing line? But then when you see it rotate, that's the most interesting part about this. And the way it just hovers there silently, if I saw this, I don't know, I'd be yelling at the top of my lungs, TR-3B, UFO, we everybody get out, film it. But this guy just remains silent while he's shooting this.
You know, yeah, I noticed something up in the top left-hand corner there. It almost does look like a fishing pole, and maybe this is attached to some filament, a fishing wire, but I'm not seeing this wavering, and it does this slight rotation right there. So that's interesting, the way it moves almost at a 180 degree there. So if this were hanging up on a fishing line, maybe it is. It's hard to tell. Again, this is almost too good to be true footage. We've seen the TR-3B up close. Thousands of you have. Are we looking at something authentic, Brent? I know we're not looking at CGI. I could see within the optics of the lens flares and everything, it all matches up there perfectly.
Yeah, definitely what we're looking at is real. It's whatever the camera's shooting, it's capturing this event, if that's what it is. Is this a TR-3B? You can see it kind of laying flat, like it's pointing horizontal, straight up towards the sky, rather than this. It's just an awkward angle, in my opinion, for this thing to be flying in the sky at this particular point. Anyway, more UFO videos coming in. Check this out.
All right, did you see it? Well, it was a little small, but I'm adding some brightness contrast. I managed to get a close-up look and track this object traversing right through the clouds, captured about 30,000 feet in the sky, and we're looking at something filmed by a passenger. And they saw something, and I'm so glad that they pulled out their camera, because what we're looking at is, again, proof of something that's happening above our skies 24/7. This thing is just ripping through the clouds at an extraordinary rate of speed here.
Yeah, very cool. Look at the propulsion as it just moves. And again, this is a phenomenon captured around the world from passengers on commercial airliners that happen to see something and have that fast hand to pull it out. And bam, we're looking at something moving. It's unidentified. You don't see any wings or any kind of jet stream. This thing's flying on its own. This isn't no parallax either. This is flying at a high rate of speed with no means of propulsion. These are the UFO videos that we like right here at Third Phase.
Yeah, once again, authentic video. That's what we're sharing with you. And if we see any trickery, we're going to tell you our thoughts. But looking at this, I don't see any indication of manipulation. We're looking at something that's there. And whatever it is, that's what we want to know. Because the technology behind this, in my opinion, is quite extraordinary. Obviously, these fighter pilots have come forward and described the Tic Tac. Well, we're looking at something right here that's very similar to what these fighter pilots are seeing, and I'm sure commercial airliners and passengers are seeing this from the air and the ground. So quite incredible stuff here. Now, again, a lot of videos into Third Phase Moon, so hit that thumbs up, hit it like it's broken, make sure it works, and then leave your comments. Now let's roll the next video. Look at that thing. Okay, once again, we're going to add some brightness contrast. I'm going to manage to track this a little closer. This object, it's amazing. I'm just looking at this thing. It's going in one direction, comes to an abrupt stop, changes the direction from where it just came from, moving erratically, and speeds up, slows down. Again, this isn't any kind of balloon or drone that I'm aware of. And then it just caught my eye. At first I thought it was mundane, but looking at this closer, seeing this thing just swim with an intelligence behind it. And then look at this. It just basically starts to speed up right there and takes off. This is amazing.
Yeah, these spheres, black metallic spheres that are flying in the skies. Again, I keep saying it, over military war zones around the planet. And we're getting these sightings more frequently. They just keep coming in. Could this maybe be some just a balloon floating up in the sky, getting caught up in the updraft of winds, and maybe there's a downdraft of wind that made it look like it's being propelled at some sort of fast motion? Again, we're looking at it doesn't look, this thing's spherical. It's perfectly round. That's what I like about it. And it's doing these, again, these weird unconventional moves that really don't make any sense. It's like it's flying under its strange intelligence, whatever it is. It's just bizarre.
Yeah, the meta propulsion behind this, I would sure like to find out. And I'm sure military would like to find out. Is this some kind of secret military program, or is it something otherworldly? All I know is it's up there and it's quite high, and I would have to estimate that this thing's probably at least 10 feet in diameter. But more videos into Third Phase Moon. Let's roll it. Boom. Did you see it real quick? Elon Musk says that his cameras haven't seen UFOs. We should just do a special episode on how many UFOs have been captured by Elon Musk's SpaceX. And we're looking at something. At first I thought it could just be space debris, maybe space, some ice particles coming off the booster itself, the SpaceX rocket. But did you see how it just changed direction? Watch this once again. Now, I'm not seeing anything coming off the rocket, any kind of propulsion coming from the rocket to make this artifact, this anomaly, change direction like that. This thing seems to have just changed direction on its own, and it's a fast maneuver right there.
Yeah, it almost looks fake, but then you see it right, boom, it just takes off right at that amazing propulsion. Could it be, again, maybe just ice crystals and being hit by the engine itself right at that moment? But we're not seeing that after effect from the rocket. So this is very curious. Again, astronauts, Armstrong, they've all seen Buzz Aldrin. They've seen it. The phenomenon in space. Is this what they're looking at?
You know, it's a good question. And again, it's interesting. Maybe it's just ice debris tumbling, but it's interesting the way it changed directions, right? Now, more videos into third phase. All right, captured out in the open sea. We're looking at a fishing boat traversing in kind of a fog layer. And then in the background, we're looking at something that can't be explained. Is this some kind of craft just coming out of the surface of the ocean there? A USO?
Yeah, Blake, you can see the water. It's almost storm-like, and you got the fog layer, and we're seeing these orange lights off in the distance. I'm saying maybe about a quarter mile to maybe even farther, a mile. And these bright, I count almost a dozen orange orbs just kind of hovering in the night sky above the ocean water there. This is amazing footage.
Yeah, I like the comparison, especially with the fishing boat. And the spotlight, again, we're not seeing any deception here. Could they be military flares? I don't think so. They seem to be just holding up there stationary. And again, the phenomenon, as people have been stating, the USO has been frequent lately. This is breaking news right now. It's a fluid episode tonight. A lot of information, data coming in from Manchester, UK. Something just went down on the tarmac, and we're reporting on it right now. Thanks for joining us from around the world. What the heck are we looking at? We've got video, we've got data, and we've got the news for you tonight. A spherical object made its debut right there, apparently the size of an automobile, right in front of a commercial airline pilot. We're watching video. Apparently, the air traffic control we're receiving the data right now was really sparse right after this event. We're looking at this video apparently captured from a commercial pilot right there. You see it in this incredible still photograph. Reveals something that's unknown. Brent, what the heck is going on? All kinds of stuff is coming in right now.
Yeah, like you said, Blake, this is totally fluid. We're gathering the information as it comes in. And here's an interesting close-up of what we're looking at. The spherical, almost looks Earth-like, a ball.
Yeah, and we're getting correspondence. Apparently, Captain Bigelow said the object descended vertically about 15 knots right into the wind and was the size of a small car, perfectly stationary for a few moments on the ground. ATCs sent out ops in the vehicles. They sent out vehicles to see what was going on, and they approached it. The thing just took off. Now we're looking at something. Again, more breaking news. This is AI imagery of the object enhanced, and AI's got a good knack for looking at things that our naked eye or even digital pixels can't make out. And AI's taking the realm right now, and we're looking at something enhanced. Brent, your thoughts? Look at this thing. It looks absolutely metallic.
Yeah, 100%. Look at the angles and the weird appendages at the top of this thing. It looks like a metal wrecking ball. And if that's the size of it and the weight of it, this thing's, again, massive, almost the size of a vehicle. And it's right there on the tarmac. And then the pilot had the right mind to take a picture and film it. There it is. People were saying this thing was just hovering on the ground and then shot straight up as it was approached. And then look at this traffic right here. The airline traffic seemed to be really light on one of the busiest flights, flights and planes in the sky today. It's a traveling weekend, and we're looking at very light traffic over Manchester, the UK.
Yeah, and this is the original photograph, and we're going to grab some more details. Some more information's coming in. Here it is. A bunch of work has been done. The original, the upscale, and we're looking at a lot of detail, and everything matches up. This isn't some kind of hoax going on. Something stationaried on a platform right there on the tarmac. It just remained there, and we're looking at the shadows. Everything seems consistent here. So we're looking at something that's breaking news. And guys, we're going to have more updates in tomorrow's episode. Tomorrow's episode is going to be big because the information is continuing to come in on a minute by minute basis right now. But we've got new UFOs, and we're going to follow up here in just a bit. Watch this.
¿Y me estás flotando? No, está bugueado. Se ha bugueado la Matrix. ¿Qué coño? ¿Qué va a hecho el coño? No, ¿qué cojones, yo? Claro, estoy rayado. ¿Qué estás flotando? No me lo puedo creer. Porque está flotando un pedazo de paja. ¿Qué coño es eso? Cojones, hermano. Yo que no hay nada arriba. No hay ni cable, no se le ven.
Cordoba, Spain. We're just there a few months ago, traveling across that country and speaking to the eyewitnesses there with regards to the UFO phenomenon. What we're looking at here, it's interesting. It's clear. It's legit. We're looking at something in the sky, but the question is, what is it? Brent, any quick thoughts on this?
Yeah, they do their fiestas and parades throughout their little villages, and it's quite unique the way they decorate the area. I don't see any other decoration in the alley streets here. This thing's just on its own, just up there. Could it be tethered? I'm not sure. I don't see no tether keeping this up, but it looks like this strange kind of square rectangle kind of object just hovering up there in the sky. Very strange. Cordoba is an interesting town, and I can imagine things like this happening there.
You know, the area is quite unique, but what are we looking at the sky, in the night sky here? Again, a pretty good close-up, illuminated by the streetlights below. You see the underbelly of this, again, rectangle, kind of brownish in hue, but again, no prop propeller blades. Very strange. Now, again, a lot of videos coming in, so let's roll the next one right now. All right, did you see it? It's quick, but it captured something way up in the sky, about maybe 25,000 feet. It looks like a twin-engine airplane. Something just zips by, red in its hue of color, extremely fast. Is it stationary or is it moving? Let's see real quick. Yeah, I think they're both going in opposite directions at an extreme rate of speed. Pretty interesting. Again, pilots are capturing the phenomenon now on a daily basis. We're seeing it right here at Third Phase Moon. This month has been crazy for commercial airlines, pilots, passengers in general, capturing crazy stuff.
Yeah, Blake, this is pretty much badass footage. Like you said, it's been happening more frequently. These almost near collisions with small craft and even commercial airliners. They're getting too close for comfort. Look at this thing. And it zips by. It almost looks like the Cape of Superman just zooming by at that moment. But we know it isn't. It's something strange. The phenomenon is out there and people are capturing it almost on a daily basis. Definitely they are. We're looking at it and we're giving it to you right here at Third Phase of Moon. Look at this thing as it just approaches the aircraft and just zooms by. This is something so close, I would say within 60 feet or closer of this aircraft.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure these things aren't having any kind of near collisions. They just outmatch anything we have in our sky. Either it's reverse engineered technology by Raytheon and Lockheed Skunk Works, that could go on, or something otherworldly. We're seeing something quite incredible, Brent. Like you say, Superman, I don't think so, but very strange indeed. And we're going to look at this once again. It's interesting. I think the pilot actually captured this video after he observed it for a little while and started to pull out his camera. What a unique capture right here. Undeniable evidence. Something is going on at an extreme rate of activity. Look at this. Okay, more videos. Let's roll it.
Yeah, we've got multiple report UAV taking off in the field to the north and the south of your current Sierra 1. Yeah, we've got multiple report UAV taking off in the field to the north and the south of your current Sierra 1.
All right, the military bases, they're lighting up. A lot of activity, drones all over the place, all at the same time. The DOD spoke about it. Listen.
General Ryder, there's been a number of incidents in England with drones targeting U.S. bases, kind of swarming U.S. bases, challenging security. Do you believe they have hostile intent? Do you believe they were sent by a foreign adversary? What is happening? What can you tell us about these drones?
What I would tell you, Jennifer, is that they are being actively monitored. Installation leaders have determined so far that none of these incursions impact the base residents, the facilities, or the assets that we have on those bases. We're, of course, continuing to work with host nation authorities and our mission partners to ensure the safety of our personnel, our facilities, and the equipment. The bottom line is it's something that we're going to take seriously. We're continuing to look into it, but as of right now has not had any significant mission impact.
Why not shoot them down?
Well, I won't get into force protection measures. We, of course, always maintain the right to defend ourselves if we deem something to be a threat. But again, we'll continue to work with the local host nation authorities there.
I think it's linked to the drones that were sighted at 3 or 4 different locations back in December of last year that we reported on recently.
Yeah, I don't want to speculate and draw unnecessary connections. Again, this is something that we'll look into. As you know, small UASs, drones, have become something that's, relatively common now across the landscape. It's something that the department has been looking closely at in terms of how it applies to our facilities, our personnel, whether it's in combat zones or outside of combat zones. But in terms of these particular incidents in the UK versus the ones in the States, again, I don't want to speculate that there's any connection.
Don't appear to be those of hobbyists. Is that correct?
Again, it would be, premature to draw any conclusions. We've got to see what these are. I mean, it's entirely possible that it could be hobbyists or something else. We just got to look into it. So,
right, Major Pat Ryder, press secretary for the DOD, just spoke about a possible invasion of the unknown. We've got drones all over the place. Are they ours or are they adversaries? I don't know. Again, it's just breaking news tonight. All kinds of things. The activity is off the hook. We can tell that General Ryder, he's being kind of vague on some of the answers. The lady asked straight up, why don't you just shoot these things down? And I thought that was a very legitimate question. I guess they don't want to rile things up and start poking the bear. Who knows?
Yeah, this is, again, breaking news right here. The UK they're having these swarms of drones. They don't know what they are. They're UAPs, UFOs, unidentified craft over military bases. And just today at Manchester, the UK airport over there, we're seeing the same kind of activity. It's getting off the hook. The Pentagon needs to drop everything they know and just give it to the public.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of pandering what's going on. And maybe things will change here in the next month or so when the administration changes. We'll see. We're going to hold their feet to the fire. But what went down today, it's quite interesting. Multiple eyewitnesses, pilots, noticing something on the tarmac. And again, this is breaking fluid news. And if you've just joined us right here, this month has been crazy on the UFO sighting. And here we go, a broad daylight one of what looks to be some kind of, some people might say it's just a balloon or a weather balloon, but according to the eyewitnesses, this thing remained stationary for quite some time and then just took off. Balloons don't do this. To me, there's something very peculiar going on. It's totally spherical and the size of a car.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. This is no party balloon with a line on it. This thing's, like you say, spherical, and then the pilot captures this as it apparently just shot up straight to the sky. This reminds me of the O'Hare Chicago incident when they saw something like this that broke through the clouds and left an opening through the clouds itself.
You know, we deserve answers, and I'm sure we're not going to get it from our government officials. We're aware of that, but we're holding everybody accountable, lawmakers and people that come forward testifying, whether they're telling us the truth or everything they know. And right now, again, Captain Bigelow gave us a pretty good statement here about 5 hours ago. Again, it's breaking news. Something went down. I'm sure there's going to be some more data coming in, hopefully photographs, video from commercial pilots or even passengers. They must have seen something. This is a very active airport, so a lot of details, a lot of things we need to unravel, and I'm sure tomorrow's episode is going to be incredible.
Yeah, it just keeps ramping up right here at Third Phase. I thought today was just going to be, I know, nothing on the table, but it always happens. It just always comes in, and it's like you, the people out there sharing that information. We're doing our research, and we're picking up on these stories as it breaks at its real moment within hours. Now we're looking at something right out of Manchester. Like I said, it looks like a planet. If this is the size of a wrecking ball, the size of a car, and as heavy as that, this is amazing stuff.
What the heck is going on over Washington, D.C., the capital? A massive UFO event has just been reported right here at Third Phase of Moon, and we're covering it right now. Buckle up, everybody. We know what just happened in Manchester. Now it's happening tonight over the capital. These orbs are making the rounds, and people are stunned. I know there's going to be a lot of follow-up coming up in tomorrow's episode, but we wanted to break it down. We don't take a break for the holidays. We want to bring you the latest news coming into Third Phase of Moon, and as we look at this close-up photograph, we're looking at these objects. They almost look square in shape. Lights illuminated underneath of it, 4 of them just hanging up there. We even have video coming in to Third Phase, so let's roll it right now. Okay, let's get a close-up look. From this distance, looking down right there in DC, over the Capitol, we see, again, 4 orbs of light approaching the area. Are these drones from unknown origin? Apparently, obviously, this is restricted airspace, so people are kind of shook up right there. The DOD's asking questions. Right now, this is breaking news, so I'm sure there's going to be some major follow-ups tomorrow, but we wanted to bring you this update. This video indicates a lot of activity going over there.
Yeah, Blake, like you just said, this is fluid, happening within hours, and we're breaking it to you right now. This reminds me of the incident back in Washington in 1952, where they had the exact same incident with UFOs flying directly over the Capitol. Now today, 2024, Thanksgiving, we're seeing something amazing over the Capitol. At night, we have 4 orbs directly over Washington, D.C. Is this some sort of swarm, an invasion?
Yeah, and I'm looking at it. They're actually not orbs when you get this photographic evidence. It's a really high quality, and you could actually make structure out of these things. They look like cubes, and that's what's amazing to me. There's something extraordinary going on right as we speak on Thanksgiving. This month has been crazy for the UFO sightings across airports, across the Capitol, across the world.
And military bases, too, at the same time.
We've got the UFO videos coming in, and let's just roll the next one. This one was interesting. I know we're going to be following up on this Capitol, but there's other UFO videos ingesting into us right now, so let's roll them, and we want to share it. Give us a big thumbs up and hit that thumbs up right now. we're looking at this a little bit closer, and we're looking at something. The illumination is quite incredible. It almost resembles something angelic, something humanoid. It's crazy footage here, and it's defying the laws of physics. In my opinion, there's no propulsion. This is legitimate footage. There's no CGI or AI going on here. We're looking at it. Did you see the bird just pass in front of it? This thing is off at quite some distance. I would imagine this thing is at least 300, maybe 400 feet in length here.
Yeah, it's massive. It's way off in the distance, and we're seeing it just illuminated right above the water there, probably about maybe 150 feet. And I would say this thing's probably maybe about 2 to 3 miles off, and we're seeing a good close-up right there. Look at this thing. It's hovering there. It's vibrant and kind of extracting this really intense glow all around it too at the same time. Impressive footage. Is this a USO?
You know, what's going on in the Capitol and these airports, and over the past few days, I'm sure people are kind of on edge. Is there some invasion of what's going on? It's hard to tell. All we know is that the activity is off the hook. Like we said, the videos are ingesting into us. We're getting it via Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, coming in from everywhere. Let's roll the next video coming in to Third Phase of Moon. Again, a really strange video coming into Third Phase. We're looking at something that really has no explanation of what kind of shape you could describe this as. It's just, it's unidentified, and it's just hanging there. It's not rotating. It's not undulating. It's just seemingly just surveying the area like it has purpose. What the heck is this?
Yeah, is this some sort of biologic? People are saying this, and it's been mentioned over there at the UAP hearings in Washington, the biological. Is this something, not machine, but maybe more like the biological chemistry? They have this odd way of supporting themselves in the sky with no means of propulsion.
You know, organic, biological, again, it's not undulating. I don't think these are just random balloons. Look at it's really cold out there. You see it just hanging. Look at this close up. You know, again, coming in from Instagram, TikTok, all the submissions coming in from around the world really has us asking big questions. And what just happened last night when we broke the news, the first YouTube channel to break the internet with regards to what is going on, the tarmac, this orb. We've got some follow-ups. Apparently there's some really clear footage or enhanced footage that we're going to be sharing in tonight's episode, and Brent's pulling that up so we could take a look at it. But still no answers given from the government over there in the UK. This is still up to us to figure out what the heck is going on. But from what we've been hearing, passengers, pilots have been seeing something crazy, and this is it. This is what we wanted to share with you. This isn't your random balloon. After AI has looked at this footage, it's revealing something that is quite incredible. This thing is apparently the size of a car. and it's just hovering right off the tarmac, and it took off at a great rate of speed, according to the pilots.
Yeah, and then there's security on the tarmac too that approached it in their vehicle, and then this thing just kind of just shot away from them like it was evading any kind of incoming intervention. We're seeing something here with this kind of this enhancement. This is no balloon. This is something very odd, and if it's again heavy or metallic, we're seeing these things flying across the skies at enormous rates of speed. Just recently, in a couple videos at Third Phase, you got to go back to the archives just a couple days ago. We're seeing the same kind of activity with this kind of massive orb. Now it's invading commercial airspace and military air bases.
Yeah, and we look at this statement by Captain Bigelow. We did a little bit of research with regards to his Twitter account, and after we posted this last night, it's gone. This Captain Bigelow doesn't exist. It sounded like he had good information, but for some reason, he's not on Twitter X. If you could find him, please let us know. We want to know who Captain Bigelow is, but apparently his feed has been shut down. Maybe it's a cover-up. Maybe he knew something that they didn't want you to know, but we're on top of it. We're breaking the news, and again, we're sharing with you this incredible imagery coming in via AI, enhancing the original photograph. And again, the pilots recorded something take off at an extreme rate of speed. So again, this isn't some random balloon, and I know people are joining us in this live premiere. We want to get your thoughts because this is crazy stuff.
Yeah, just another day at Third Phase Moon. The information just keeps coming in, and we love this stuff. We live and breathe the phenomenon, and we're trying to get it out as fast as we can. What just happened over Washington, D.C., over the Capitol is, again, fluid news. I'm sure we're going to get more people footage, just people that were there that eyewitnessed something that's happening over Washington, D.C. at the moment.
We're looking at incredible video of a metallic orb in close proximity to a commercial airliner. What the heck is going on? Breaking news right now. This month has been incredible with the sightings, and we're looking at them right now, and we've got a lot of them. So buckle up. What are we looking at, Brent? This thing's massive. We look at this in close proximity. I actually did some enhancements. It's going in front of the plane, so it's as big as the engine itself. In my opinion, it's quite huge.
Yeah, let's take a closer look at that again. We're looking at this UFO approach to commercial aircraft as it just goes. Yes, indeed, it goes in front of it, and these are the things that are being seen all over the place. Manchester, these are the UFOs that are kind of making the rounds around the world, these metallic orbs that are getting too close to comfort to our commercial airliners, military bases, you just name it. It's off the hook.
Yeah, are these extraterrestrial in nature? We're not claiming that by any means, but what is going on? Here's what happened in Manchester, an AI enhanced version of the mysterious metallic orb that was spotted there just last night. Now we have this video, and it is quite incredible what we're looking at here of a commercial airliner taking off, and this orb basically right in front of the path crosses in front of its trajectory. This airline pilot must be tripping out. I'm hoping they've got good cell phone footage, because these airline pilots need to come forward. I urge you, airline pilots, you have to come forward and just contact Third Phase Moon. We want to share your evidence, because the evidence is off the hook tonight. This month, again, November, quite incredible, and we've got a lot of videos. So everybody hit that thumbs up. Thanks for joining us in this live premiere. Let's roll it.
Now I think the lights do give it the appearance like it's a triangle. But, okay, so now it looks like more like a green, like the bottom one. But it could be that the red and the green one might be the main wing, and the white one might be the tail, like a standard plane configuration, potentially. But there's not really any way of telling because it's so dark. The weird thing for me is that there's no flashing lights on it at all. the red and the green lights could potentially be the end of the wings, and then the white one on the tail. But it's weird that it's like that because it gives it a triangle a look to it. But nothing's flashing on it at all. Yeah. It's just too dark, you just can't make it out, like, can you, what the shape is. Definite drone with props in it. So whether it's some sort of surveillance drone or just a plane keeping an eye on things, just don't know.
Right, we're looking at this video. Obviously, people might think of a TR-3B. This thing's just stationary. No FAA lights whatsoever, and it seems quite large. It has the person on the ground kind of baffled, and I think this is close to some military base there in England. This is breaking news. Everything's kind of liquid at the moment. There's so much UFO activity. It's hard to keep up on it, but we're doing our best.
Yeah, the UK skies are lighting up with the UFO sightings on commercial airliner tarmacs, and then we're seeing TR-3Bs. People may say a TR-3B. I'm thinking this is one of ours, but it's definitely has this triangle formation with the kind of the red, green, and white lights, which I would kind of lean for being one of ours, but they're not performing the right blinking FAA lights for protection of any aviation that should be up in the skies.
Yeah, the anti-collision lights are not being seen here, and what's incredible too is there's no sound whatsoever. And in this close proximity, you would hear the rotor blades, and we don't hear any indication. Whatever is the means of the propulsion behind this craft, it's silent. We're not hearing any kind of indication of any propulsion that is in a traditional way. Now, like we said, a lot of videos coming in. Let's roll the next one. Right, let's get a closer look. Captured in Mexico earlier this week. We're receiving this video right now of what looks to be a massive illuminated plasmic orb in the sky. Like, I mean massive. Maybe the size of the Empire State Building, maybe twice as large. We're looking at something that would capture anybody's mind and start to film. Brent, quickly before we get to the next video, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, there's been a lot of sightings right out of Mexico during kind of the same time of Elon Musk's space launch, I think out of Texas. So in my opinion, we could be looking at something one of ours, a typical launch from Musk. And this is a plasmic display that it shows during its maximum point leaving the Earth, and the bright lights hitting the gases, the sun hitting the gases off the rocket spray.
Yeah, an Elon Musk rocket launching out of Texas and being seen over there in Mexico. I pretty much think that's what's going on here, but more videos. Check it out. All right, we're going to get a little closer look. The activity above the lunar surface, I mean right above it, above the major craters, have been coming out lately. Again, these videos have been making the rounds. Here's a new one. We're thinking that there's some manipulation here, but we wanted to expose this as, in our opinion, not legitimate, and it's just making the rounds. So if you see it, just call it out.
Yeah, I am definitely going to lay it out. This has come from the same artist that has been producing these things over the past month. So you can just see it. The way it zooms in, they try to put in the fake blur in between, but this is too good to be true, and sometimes you just got to call it out for what it is.
Yeah, there's a lot of activity that's legitimate, but in this case, we're looking at it, we see too many indicators of it being manipulated. Now, let's get to a legitimate UFO right now, coming into third phase of moon. Watch this. Okay, this thing's changing direction. At first, we thought this could be some kind of celestial, mundane event. We've seen them up close with a rocket trail behind it. But look at how this thing undulates. And it's just right above the tree line there. And it apparently changes directions. This is incredible. Again, so much video evidence. Brent, quickly, before we get to the next one here.
Yeah, I like this. Definitely, there's no CGI. This is 100% original. I'm just going to throw it out there. There's new technology with drones. Could this just be one of them with some pyrotechnics being lit off of it? And then it does these nice maneuvers over the trees, kind of creating a nice spectacle. But is this UFO related as of otherworldly? I don't know.
Yeah, a crash. Obviously, crash retrievals are real. And is this a UFO out of control or drone piloted by the unknown? Who knows? That's what we want to find out. More videos.
Dude, the black helicopters keep flying over here too. Did they fly over our house last time? Look, now it's just hanging out.
All right, the Chinook helicopter buzzing over a neighborhood. I thought it was kind of mundane video. Obviously, military is doing this, but are we seeing the orb? It's back again. Here we go. Again, these orbs are making the rounds right now. It's interesting. These people were just in the neighborhood, shook up by the Chinook helicopter buzzing just right above the neighborhood. I don't know. I don't think they should be doing that, but what's going on here? We have this drone orb sphere once again right there in close proximity.
It's lighting up all over the world. These new technology, in my opinion, these cylindrical metallic orbs that are surrounding military, civilian, everywhere across the planet. And here we go again with new footage right here at Third Phase Moon. That's it's hot right off the presses of this Chinook helicopter making a really close encounter next to the phenomenon, the orb. Could this be a military exercise using this with their military technology too at the same time? Maybe it's a new escort for high unacknowledged programs connected to the military. Who the hell knows?
You know, again, it's all liquid. This information coming in on a minute-by-minute basis, 24/7, and we're looking at something. Maybe it could just be a balloon up there in the sky, but what's going on around the world with these eyewitnesses, military, commercial pilots, everybody, they're seeing these metallic orbs, and again, just shot within the past 24 hours. We're getting military action with this escort of the unknown. Again, we leave it to you to decide. We're giving you our opinions, and we want to hear yours. Now, once again, we've got more videos. This one's interesting. Just look at the dynamics of it. The original to the left, and I did some enhancement to the right here. Just watch this thing. There you go. I was looking at this video. I thought it could maybe just been a reflection off the mountain, but then we realized this thing is just darting back and forth, left and right, zigzagging, unconventional dynamics going on here. Authentic, 100% UFO. You're looking at it. Give us a big thumbs up, Brent. This is crazy. It's not just a dot. This thing is off at a distance, and it's doing extraordinary maneuvers that seemingly defies the laws of physics. That's what I've been saying for years. Seemingly. And the laws of physics have been broken over and over for years. Scientists don't know everything at this moment in time. Physics will always be changed because everything changes in life and time. So we're looking at something that is just extraordinary here. This orb of light dancing around, moving around erratically, seemingly to defy the laws of physics here. Yeah, I'm just looking at this, trying to look at every detail, especially when it makes these huge maneuvers. We're commercial drone pilots, and I'm sure there's a lot of consumers of drones right here at Third Phase of Moon. You go try to fly a drone off maybe about 1.5 miles and try to do those maneuvers and capture it on camera. I'm thinking you're not going to be able to pull it off because it's hard to pilot, almost impossible to pilot your commercial drone or a consumer drone like this. This video lasts for quite some time. I just had a few moments to share it with you. It goes for a while, and it just keeps going, but it's kind of cool that we got to share this clip kind of in its raw form here, showing the phenomenon right there. And the phenomenon is real. It's happening above our heads every day in our skies. And all you have to do is look up and be ready.
You don't know that at the very top, that whole project is being run illegally.
These are brand new witnesses, and they've got bombshell information to talk about.
These technologies are unsanctioned. They are illegal operations, and this can be proven in any court of law.
It's like, wow, nobody's coming after us. We're gonna do this until we can get away with it.
They would have so much control over everything if they had that.
If this information was all released, it could fall into the wrong hands.
They're using security as a cover for illicit or illegal or even treasonous activities.
The members of Congress didn't have the detailed information of the precise location.
Where they keep the bodies, the craft, the debris, all the evidence that we've been searching for the last 80 years.
He knew how to keep a secret. Secrets were his stock in trade.
They are literally making their own money to fund their own projects.
We have a source currently in the deep black world.
It doesn't matter if you're president of the United States, you're not going to talk about that.
It was this large monolithic slab. Looked like it was elevated off of the ground.
It is traumatic.
Look, this is the most top secret shit you've ever heard of.
Battle for Disclosure is going to be available worldwide December 10th, 2024. It's going to break the internet. Everybody, be safe. Blake Cousins, keep your eyes on the skies. We're not alone.
We'll catch y'all later.